Hello everyone, Mike here, and I just got back from seeing Love Hurts. I'm a little late to the game on this. When this came out, there were a bunch of other movies I wanted to see, and so it took me a little bit to get to it. But Squeaks is right next to my tripod. Why do you always go for the tripod? Yeah, meow, meow, nothing. So, Love Hurts. I gotta say, in general, I enjoyed this movie. There were some things I was not a fan of, and I'll get into that, but the fight scenes were awesome. They kind of had a Jackie Chan feel to them, in that we were getting really cool martial arts and some comedy in the middle of those scenes, and which reminded me a lot of Jackie Chan fight scenes, and I really enjoyed it because I always liked that style. Um, the story, of course, I found pretty good. I like the whole idea of somebody was part of something dark, and they've stepped away, they've made a new life for themselves, and they get dragged back in. It's an age-old story, but it still can be told very well. And I think they told the story pretty well. The side characters were a lot of fun. We had really only a little bit of side characters from his current life, a lot of side characters based on his previous life. But again, I'll get into those when I get more into the spoilers. One of the biggest problems I ended up having was our love interest. Our female lead, basically. I was not a fan of her. And I'm trying to figure if we were supposed to really get into her, because her character is cool, but she really bothered me. One of the main reasons is everything bad that happens to our main character is all her fault. She, of course, she's seen in the preview, so this isn't really spoilers, she kind of is the one that drags him from his happy life back into this violent criminal life. And I'll be honest, at no point does it come off any better to me. One of the things that she brings up multiple times is the idea that his new life, working as a realtor, is him hiding but not living. And I think we were supposed to find that to be true in the end, but I'll be honest, I never saw that. Throughout everything that happened, it really seemed like he was happy in his new life. And then he had it being taken away from him, mostly because of her. So that made her, to me at least, very unlikable, because the whole thing was her fault, and she kept intentionally pulling him away from a life he'd found for himself where he was happy. So, I'm going to be getting into spoilers soon, so I'll just say, in general, it was a fun movie, and I really enjoyed it. But there were definitely some elements that I didn't like. Now, let's get into spoiler territory. Of course, we have the Raven, our poet, which, of course, Raven, Edgar Allan Poe, poetry thing, and his little side story of being someone sent to get Marvin and bring him back to his brother, but he meets Ashley, Marvin's assistant, and the two of them fall in love. And I actually liked that little sub story between them. I thought it was rather adorable. I did predict that he and Marvin were going to end up joining forces. I also liked the side story with the two main goons. Yes, yes, squeakers. Um, the one trying to rekindle things with his wife. I found that kind of enjoyable. The other one constantly narrating throughout all the action scenes. It was funny, but I feel it got a little excessive. And there were points where it's like, okay, dude, enough. You need to stop now. It's one of those where you take something good and go way too far with it. Now let me get into what I was talking about with our leading lady, Rose. Of course, she and these two others, Marlo and Kippy, had stolen a bunch of money from Marvin's brother, Knuckles. And then Marlo and Kippy basically turned around and made it look like she alone had stolen the money so that Knuckles would have her killed, and then, Marlo could take her spot as Knuckles' right-hand guy. Marvin was given the job of killing her, but because he was in love with her, he let her go, and ran away, made a life for himself, and was able to find some peace working as a realtor. And then, of course, she, wants her life back that she lost. And, fair enough. But because she can't do it alone, she drags poor Marvin out of his new happy life and back into all this. Well, as I said, continually talking about how, oh, you aren't living in this new life, you're just hiding. And again, I think the story is supposed to be that ends up being true, but I don't know, I just never see that. Every element makes it feel like he's really happy. I mean, he's got the Realtor of the Month award that he gets, or it might have been year. I couldn't remember. It might have been Realtor of the Year. I don't remember, but it was he gets this big award. And even when he's finally about to step back out there and, be the killer he once was, because he knows he has to do that if he wants to get through all this, he was looking at that award, looking at this house that he was getting ready to sell, and he seemed so sad because he was losing this new life that he clearly loved. I don't think he was just hiding and not living. But that's what Rose was constantly telling him, which caused him to get dragged out of this happy life. And even in the end, when all is said and done, he doesn't go back to his life as a realtor. He takes over his brother's business. And yeah, I feel like that to me just didn't feel like as much of a happy ending as if he'd been able to, take back his place as a realtor. I mean, heck, his mentor gets killed during this, and this is the guy that literally helped make him the realtor that he is, and yet now he's dropped it, and now he's doing something completely different, and it just doesn't feel satisfying to me. Yeah, the ending was really my biggest problem, and her. But there were so many other things that I liked, so I don't want it to feel like I'm saying that it's bad, because I don't think it was. I don't like the ending, and I don't like her, but I like all the side characters. I loved the action. I love the story of a guy who got out and gets pulled back in. Classic story. I think they told it pretty well here. Generally, as I said, I think this was a good movie. There were just some things that did really bother me in it. But that's all I've got on this one. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and a subscribe. It does a lot to help me out. And Until next time.